Hi friends, this is Alujan here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And the topic I'm going to cover is about Junos switching course. Okay, so just like Cisco, I'm going to segregate this into several topics. So this topic I'm going to cover like Juniper switching course. So before that, always first and foremost thing we have to get the setup ready. So what are things we are going to do is first you have to install the GNS3, and also in this Juniper switching you should know how to set up the VQFX switch. So all these topics I have covered in this particular course, and additionally, and you should also know how to set up VMX router. So the VMX router is mainly for it supports all the routing capabilities, and VQFS switch supports all the switching capabilities like configuring VLANs and configuring a integrated routing bridging. So all those things you should know. So these all these topics I have covered in this particular course, and also what are the topics I'm going to cover for this Junos switching labs. Okay, so recently I completed my Juniper certification, like CCNA I have done a GNCA certification, and also I have done like Juniper enterprise routing and switching specialist certification. Okay, so for the past 1 year I was studying Juniper, and what are things I have learned is I don't want to keep it with me, I just want to share you. So that's the reason I segregated into several topics. So this will be really interesting about the Juno switching labs. So I added more like a lab scenarios. It doesn't mean that I only covered lab scenarios. So adding to the labs, I also added the theory sections, how we can configure and what is that exactly, and how we can configure all the switching labs. For example, how to create VLANs, and how we can configure a inter-VLAN routing. So these are the topics like Juno CLI modes. So like Cisco, we have like operational mode and a configuration mode, and how we can do a Juno's commit and the rollback operation. So Juno's like Juniper added more flexibility in a commit and rollback operations, which will be really more and more interesting. And also we should know what are the basic show commands. So these show commands we can execute in an operational mode, and also we can execute in a configuration mode. So we should know how we can configure and how we can show commands in case of any troubleshooting or in case of any debugging. Okay, and also about the factory reset, how we can factory reset to the reset to the default setting using the factory reset mode. And also we should know what is the difference between the Juno's candidate and the active configuration, and also the SSH access, and how to create the VLANs, and how we can configure a inter VLAN routing. And this is nothing but an aggregated interface. So just like Cisco, we have a LICP. So LICP is a link aggregation control protocol, which is used for aggregating or bundling multiple interfaces into a single logical unit. Okay, so this can be configured both in a layer 2 and a layer 3 mode. And adding to that, I also added how to configure a Junos VRRP and a DHCP. So moreover, I'm not going to stop only with this particular video. I'm going to add more and more videos for your better understanding. So for a full understanding and a detailed thing, what I have done, I have added like more lab scenarios. So that is mandatory. So why? Because from my experience, what I learned is, so I have once I done the JNCA certification and also the enterprise routing and the switching certification. Okay, I'm not satisfied. So then I started installing GNS3 on my machine, local machine. Then I started configuring all the scenarios. Then I come to know what is really exactly this is. So that is a way you can learn the things. So you have to be practice more and more to get familiar with all the topics. Okay, so this particular course I have taken into three perspective. So it will be really helpful from your interview point of view. Okay, so if you want to give any specific interview on Juniper, definitely, so this is going to helpful. And also from your certification point of view, it will be really very helpful. And also from your future perspective. Okay, so for all this perspective I kept in mind, and I have added more lab scenarios, and also I also explained about the theory, how it exactly works. So this particular course about this Juniper switching will be definitely more useful and fruitful. So please make use of this setup, and you should know first and foremost thing, the challenging thing is how we can set the GNS3. So okay, so installing GNS3 is very simple. Only thing you should understand how to set up the VQFX switch, and also how to set up the VMX router. Then once the setup is ready, so you can it will be very easy to practice all these lab scenarios. And also adding to that, these all these lab scenarios I have covered in this course. So definitely it will be fine, very helpful. And also thanks in advance for all your help and support. Okay, so please subscribe for more videos. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Thank you.